Hey guys, we're starting another lesson, and this is in search of the idea of who and what are we denying? What does this mean to deny something? And I'm going to do a series of these, I think, just to make sure that we drive the nail, into the coffin. All right. But the idea now, this is my second attempt. I just did a 45-minute lecture, like class, on this already. After doing a day's worth of homework and going through this entire subject already once before, it can only get better. All right, so let's try, see if we can get this out. All right. So, anyways, let's get right in this. Well, we're going to be looking into the book of Matthew. Again, we're only using the King James Version. Matthew chapter 10. And what we get out of this is we get Jesus. Jesus is the boss. He is like the sun in the middle of the 12 constellations, which he calls them his disciples. Okay. And a disciple is someone who is going to drop everything that they got going on in their lives, and they're going to take up their cross, and they're going to come and follow Jesus. And so what he calls, these are his little ones. Okay, he doesn't say that until the end. But he's giving these 12, in this particular part, these 12 disciples, he's giving them the power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manners of sickness within the manner and all manner of disease. So this is the opening statement. All right. I've got it all written up here. There's 42 of these, so it's pretty long. And each one of these worlds is going to be pulled out 4 at a time. And we're going to go from the instructions, which is what we just read here with number 1, and they're going to introduce the other parts of the tribes all coming in here. And then number 2 is going to be, his creation. This idea number 2 is going to set things off with his 12. Jesus, he sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. And so it says, no, don't go into the ways of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. This would be for 5. 5 represents our body, and so he's telling us to not to go on the outside, but to follow it on the inside, because they're looking for just the lost souls. We're looking for the lost tribes of Israel, and so that's where this idea is that this is where we want to go. This is where I want you to go and do all your searching, and this is the inner side, inside of us. This is when you find that this human being is going into meditation. Well, look for the guy that's doing that. That's what we're looking for. Those are the lost sheep. And it's just beautiful. It goes on to tell us in number 10 here, it says, no script or for your journey, no coats, because he's sending them out 2 at a time. Remember, it's always 2 at a time. When God has Abraham go and take care of his child, he has to give up his firstborn to God. And so the sacrifice is that, when they were at the base of the mountain, does he leave his helpers? He leaves 2 helpers down below, and what helped them to get there, which was the donkey or something, the mule. And just he and his son walked up the mountain to fulfill the rest of this story. So it's the 2. It's always the 2. It's the clean and the unclean, or it's the idea that it takes 2 to get up there to the top of the mountain. All right, and what happens is they go. Let's see where we're going with this. It says they've gone up. This is number 8. on the second one, on the 8th, they're going up to, they're coming up to heal the sick, all right? And it's a sick mind, all right? And they're going up to cleanse the lepers. And a leper, we had found out earlier that a leper is a disease that is taken over the person that they cannot fix themselves. It's a disease that they have no way of being able to fix themselves. And in our stories, that's because there's usually some kind of a drought in the land or a famine, and there's this in the land is that this place to go to get fixed, to do it by yourself, to take your own hand and fix it with your own hand, is gone. So this is to heal the leper part. So this is to open this blockade. All right. And then we also get to raise the dead, because people that, if your child, your soul inside of us right now is in there locked up tight and in a grave, in the dirt, in the dust. And like Jesus says that, your body is like a scapular or something, a tomb. It's all pretty and kept pretty on the outside, but on the inside is where all this decay is at. And of course, this is where Jesus and all of them are, on the inside. And so, he'd like to have this place a little cleaner. And then on the end here, it says this is to free yourself of demons. That's what you get out of the end here. The 12 is or 8 is to, the final one is to cast out the devils. And that's what this is about. When you go into fasting and shut off the mind, this particular situation will clear you of your uncleanliness. All right. It tells us to take this is where it says number 9 down here. 9 is when you connect with God. This is number 3, connections with 1 and 2. This will be 9, 10, 11, 12. These are these connections. Let's see what happens between here. It says, provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. So you got to go, nothing. You got to go broke. Nothing. No script for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves. For the workman is worthy of his own meat. This is number 10. Now, what he's saying is that don't bring 2 coats, because that means no clothing, no outline. When we go in, we have to go in spirit, and that means naked, nothing, cleanliness. All of this is gone. All right, and at the same time, this business of 10 is that the workman is worthy of his own meat. That means that he can provide for himself. And this is where we're coming to get our food. This is where Jesus or God makes Adam a go to meat. He needs someone to go to meat. So this is the whole idea. This is where he finds her. This is where he goes to get his meat. All right, that's how it works. And now 11. And into whatever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide until you can go any further. So this is as far as you go. On the 11th side, it's our physical self. And it's also a city. It's a reference to a city. And the city of David is born in a manger, a child. And it's talking about this gift from heaven, which is our seed, our soul. It's the Son of Man, and it's a child of God. Number 12. And when you come into a house, salute it. That means to kiss it, give it a kiss. All right. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. And if it not be worthy, let your peace return to you. All right. Well, there is no peace in our house. The idea is that this is why we've come into this, is to get peace. So this is so that you can get peace to return back to you. So is this number 4 talking about a new world with number 13? Yes, it is. Number 14, because this is the idea. We want peace. We want a peace of mind. We want balance. That's why if you're going to take up your cross, it's to balance out your mind. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. So this is telling you if you're not being received, and this is if you can't be heard, if you're not being seen, and so many people are in this deaf, dumb, and blind mode. So get the hell out of there. Get the dust off your feet. All right? 15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So, yeah, because you got to wait. You should get it over with now while you can. And number 16, at the end here, we get, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That's a number 7 on the end there, and it's a good sign underneath our spiritual side. And what it's telling us in number 16 is that he has sent us, look, behold, I have sent you forth. And the outside of us is the wolf. The outside of us is usually the lion. Outside of us is generally a beast, the bear, But what's on the inside is the child or the cub or the lamb or the kid or the baby lion. This is the idea that all of these are representing this brother. This idea that if you're not your brother's keeper, like with the children of Adam and Eve, this Cain, he kills his brother, and it sets all these troubles with the land. It fixes so that the land no longer produces anything worthwhile. And that's the whole point of this story is now we want to fix that. And that doesn't happen until we finally get till we get Noah. And it's Noah that is the one that breaks this spell with the land, and he teaches people how to go about raising up this situation and fixing this on your own. He's the first one to go through that. And he says, so behold, I send forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. That's because but not to be afraid, because while you're walking through the land of the shadow of death, you don't fear no evil. We talk about this, that the evil side has been put down. They're asleep. That side is gone. So it says, therefore be wise as serpents, which means probably about it's a quiet situation. And the other one is harmless as doves. Because when we are brought to light, when Mother brings into her light, beautiful things happen. And there isn't anything negative that happens to us after we have gone through all our lives being picked at and beat up and all that stuff, that our salvation comes easy. It's easy and it's beautiful. But then as we get going, we'll see that this is Jesus sending forth his people in the midst of the monster, because we're going to go and clean him up. But beware of men. We get a 17, which is 5. 5 represents the body. So it's the brethren, 5, the 5 senses. This is the beast himself. And we get 17, we get this idea that beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. So this is this idea, they're going to bring you up before. This is man, which is you have to betray yourself. So beware of men, because they will bring you before the synagogues. And let's see what 18 is. 18 goes, and ye shall be brought before the governors, which is the heart, and kings, which is the mind, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Well, that's father and mother. These are the 2 things that you're bringing up. All right. It says here that that you will be brought before the governors, which is the heart, right? And for the kings, for my sake, because we're trying to bring Jesus into our lives. So yes, we are being brought, man, through the idea of betraying the flesh and going into meditation, is bringing us before God and this particular thing. Now listen to how this works. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given to you in that same hour what ye shall speak. This is number 19. 19 is talking about the personal body itself. Take no thought. You should be dead as a doornail in this situation. Absolutely thoughtless. God will put something in your mouth. And now that's what's beautiful. What happens on 20? For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Number 20. The, the Spirit of the Father is your soul. And is your soul, which is the soul is the one that's bringing these two guys up for witness. They're the ones he's going to tell on. This is this. But they will deliver you up. Oh, take no thought is what you say. For it is not ye that speak. 21. Here we go. Number 21 is a 3. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. All right. That means one of these, the way they've got it going on is the brother is our soul. But if it's our brother, then the other brother, the father, is actually the brother too. So this brother, the father, brings up the brother. All right, let's get this right. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. That's to bring us to go into meditation. Is this idea of going into death? All right, and it goes like this. And the father, the child. All right, I might get these mixed up, but that father would be the outside guy is bringing up the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. So this is 21. And the parents they're talking about is mother and father. And the idea is that both of these things have got to be delivered and changed. And so they get put to sleep. This is where the sun goes dark and the moon turns red or goes to sackcloth or something like that, or no longer shows its light. All right. And then it says here in number 22, which is coming down further, 22. 22, is this one? Yes. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So 22 is this idea that when you turn this part on, the men are going to hate you. The men, because they're all being changed. The mind is being brought up lower. You're no longer going to be your lower self. And believe me, devil does not want that part of us to end. That side he wants to go on ever and ever and ever. That circle business. He wants to keep the rings going round and round in your lives. It says here that, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man he come. All right, become. All right, so this is number 23. It's representing the physical side of us. When you become persecuted in this city, flee. This is because it's time. Go to the mountains. That's what they say. Which is to go to the mountain. This is where you flee the city. Go here. All right, flee the outside. So where are we at? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, when they persecute this city. So the idea is that when you're getting ready, when you're going to be going under, getting fixed up, you're going to be judged and stuff like that, run off to another city in this place. All right, and so it is enough. It says the disciple is not above his master. The disciple is the child in us. It's the idea that we are disciples. It's the child that we send to follow after Jesus. A lot of people think that we are following after Jesus. In a way, yeah, but you're using the word and you're not getting to it. You have to follow the spiritual side of us and let his people go. And this is this idea that the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. Same thing. It's enough for the disciple that he be his master and the servant as his Lord. If if they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them from his household? This is number 25 down here on the seven, which is the Lord's Day. And Beelzebub is a name for the devil. And so we're going to try to get him out of this house. All right. This is the Lord's Day. 26, we get this, fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that is not known. So this is the searching. The water is coming to fill the earth and to clean it up and to change things. And we get down here to number 27. What I tell you in darkness, speak ye in the light. And what you hear in the ear, ye preach at night upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. This is number 28, which is the end of the worlds here. For this business, it tells us on the end, beware of those people. Don't be afraid of someone that can kill the body and the soul lives. This is someone who can meditate and the soul stays alive. But this idea that beware of the guy that can kill both the body and the soul, and those are people that come down without God and they without mother, and their soul is trapped inside of them. They're never going to be able to set themselves free. So this is another death, not only to the body, but to the soul. And so that's the part that we're supposed to be afraid of. All right. And then we get into the business of birds that are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and la 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 la, and the hairs of the head are all numbered, and such. Fear ye not, you're more valuable to sparrows. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. This is number 33. 33 is a conscious number off of 9. It's the first world of the conscious number. If your mind doesn't want to connect to God, then that's turning away from God. That's this idea of not being apart. To deny is to turn your face from him. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not to send peace, but a sword. And this sword is he's meant to cut like a knife. This idea, this sword is the truth. And let's just keep on going with this. Number 35, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against his father, and the daughter against his mother. And then we get the foreigners, the mother-in-laws against mother-in-laws, or daughter-in-laws against mother-in-laws. So these are those three things again, and they're all, and this is kingdom against kingdom. All right. There'll be wars and things like that. And this has to happen. Without these things happening, you're not going to be able to go. All right. You can't make it over to the other side. You got to make it all the way through to the end to get this beautiful piece out of it. It says, and a man's foes shall be of his own household. Okay. 36 is the end of these stories. In your mind here, it's showing you that all your troubles are coming from within your own self. And what we're learning here is that it's your dirty skin, father, the lower mind, and the bitch that we have to come along with her. These two things have got to go. All right. And then we get one of our last worlds on here before it all gets summed up here. And we get number 37. All right. 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Well, what is being set up here is that we have to go against both mother and father. Remember in the story with Joseph, while he is dreaming of his mother and father and his brethren all bowing down to him. It's the same story. I know I may have said this already, and I can't tell you if I have because I've said this so much. But he takes the place of Jesus in the middle of his 12 brothers, the tribes of Israel, that they all of them bow down to him. All right. And that we have to hate mom and dad, brothers and sisters, and yea, even ourselves, or we cannot follow Jesus. So we have to kill ourselves. We have to bring these things to a death. We have to even bring ourselves to this particular death. And it says here, he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. This is number 38. 38 is representing this place. This is the only place that you can take up your cross. This is the only place that you can take up anything. And the idea is to balance the two sides of your minds. And if you don't do that, then you're not worthy. If you cannot figure out to go inside of you and do this business, you're not worthy. 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loses his life for my sake shall find it. Number 39 is when we finally hook up with mother, does life come back into us? Remember, we're dead up here, but we're alive once we finally connect and follow Jesus and do what he tells us to do. And on 40, which is the world, he that receiveth you receiveth me. And he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. So here on 40, we find at the end that God sends child to correct the business. And in the process, we get mother. She takes over for the bitch and completes. So we get father, we get mother, we get what we asked for. We get connected to God. And this is a reward. We get this down to number 41. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And finishing up with number 42 down here. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. So he is talking about his little ones. Remember, they're all children. Everybody, if you can't come up into heaven unless you're a child. And he's talking about anybody that comes from these different houses, those 12, anybody that comes from these places. They're going to be traveling in twos. And if you can give them a glass of water, you will be given a reward that will never be taken away from you. That's what it means. So when you're denying Christ, that's what you're denying with the second the Second Testament. But in the First Testament, you're denying your brother. All right, they're the same thing. When your brother is been killed, you kill him. This is something that we do ourselves. We come to life without this business on us. And of course, that's the scripture that the Gospels themselves become a snare to us. And those Gospels bring us on another wild goose chase, which is so hard for people to understand when it comes down to learning the true side of this, is that it's all about what's going on our insides. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going on the outside. All right? Let's hope that this gets through. All right? I went from 45 minutes of talking to 29. Well, let's hope this gets through. If it doesn't, I'm going to try it one more time. All right. See you later. Hope you got something out of this.